We had Rocky Long on last week, and he sort of laid out, he's like, Cam Kelly's going to go here, and Bowden's going to go there, and David Wells, and these guys, these names are going to get called. Well, two of the three didn't get called at all, and they both end up together with the Dallas Cowboys, and one of them, David Wells, tight end for the Aztecs last year, joins us now live. David, great to have you. Congratulations on ending up where you ended up, and would you take us through what was going on during the 7th round and what went into the decision to end up in Dallas?
Well, thanks for having me, and really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, it was a long day. It started around 9 a.m. just watching the draft go on, and I had some family trickle in throughout the day. I had my friends there, my girlfriend was there, and everything like that. But I knew it wasn't going to be till around the 6th, 7th round if my name was going to get called. So then once the 7th round hit, coaches started calling, and then it's just pretty much trying to recruiting for like free agency and stuff like that. So, that's where I got on the horn with my agent, and then we're just talking about, okay, where's going to be the best place for me, just looking at the situations and everything going on. And, sure enough, we pretty much knew where I was going to go, about halfway through the 7th round, just preparing everything for that. And so literally once the draft ended was when I, told them that I was going to be going to the Dallas Cowboys. And then, sure enough, I love it, so I'm excited and I can't wait till I go to rookie minicamp.
It was years into like my NFL career that I actually heard people talking about this process on draft day, having it turn into open recruitment of some of the remaining position players left on the board. It's really interesting, and it's true. To a certain degree, you'd rather not be drafted in the 7th round and have the opportunity to land where you wanted. When you were narrowing it down, what were some of the teams where you would have been okay going if it weren't for the Dallas Cowboys?
We were just looking for teams that needed a wide tight end. That was basically the first thing that we were looking for. It's like, okay, we're going to look through. We pretty much had an idea before the draft, the teams that could draft me based on, just what my position and skill set are. And so following throughout the draft, it was more just watching and looking. We were talking to each other, like, okay, maybe the Chargers are actually one of the teams that we can go to, just because, they just lost Antonio Gates, and I would talk to the coaches beforehand. But, as it got narrowed down and more, I just, I had to work out with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm familiar with their system. They did draft a tight end earlier in the draft, but you know what? He's a different kind of tight end than I am. And you know what? They still needed a wide tight end, and I definitely thought that it was going to be the best fit.
David Wells joining us, Aztecs tight end, ends up as an undrafted free agent to the Dallas Cowboys. David, would you explain a little bit more for the listeners what you mean by this type of tight end, that type, a wide tight end? Like, how does this relate to Jason Witten's probable retirement? Did that factor into your decision at all?
Well, I mean, yeah, I definitely did because, before they would only need one tight end, but since he's most likely going to retire now, they need two tight ends, and there's two different kinds of tight ends. There's tight ends that more or less just run routes, and are more of like the move guy, off the ball. But when I'm the kind of tight end, that always has his hand in the dirt. I'm pretty much an extension of the O-line who can also. Mostly my job is going to be run blocking, but you know what? I've done that for 5 years now. You know what? And I love it. And, that's the kind of tight I am. And that's really it.
Yeah, a lot of my good buddies in the league were tight ends because you just love the grit that they showed, the ones who could block because they fell in love with it. I remember talking to an old guy playing the position. He's like, you need someone to block power, stand next to the tackles and get on those double teams. It's a real skill. And you possess that. I talked to some of the coaches around San Diego State during your career that get a better idea about the type of guy you are. The preparation, David, at this level, at the college level, how much time would you spend watching film, get in the playbook, get ready for the next opponent?
It'd pretty much be all week long, multiple hours every single day. I was thankful enough last semester that I was ahead of the academics, and I really didn't have any classes. I just had to write my thesis, so I had a lot of time throughout the day to watch film and just go over my playbook. But also being in the same system for pretty much 5 years really allowed me to know what was going on. It was really easy for me to adapt and just look over the playbook really quick to understand what's going on. just because, I've seen pretty much all these teams before and doing that. But, every single day after practice, I would go in and watch film while I eat my dinner, and just sit there for a few hours. But then throughout the day, I'm also watching film beforehand. I go into the meeting rooms about 30, 45 minutes early every single day and watch film by myself, just based on what we're going to do for that day. And, I definitely think it helped a lot. But now since, it's a whole different animal now. So, I definitely know I'm going to have to bump it up and learn a whole new playbook. But, I'm excited for the opportunity and excited really for the challenge of trying to learn some new stuff.
David, this is not just an iconic franchise. It's kind of an iconic position, from Witten and Jay Novacek. Like, this has been a big deal for a long time. Tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. What does that feel like?
It's awesome, and just being able to go out to Dallas, go out to one of the best facilities in the world and play for one of the best teams in the league. It's truly a blessing, and I'm really thankful that the coaches, had a very good, thinking of me throughout this whole entire process. And I'm very happy that I signed with them because, I definitely think that, I have a good shot to make the 53-man roster, playing special teams and, just fulfilling that role that they need right now. And so I definitely know that, I'm going to be that guy that's going to be going in there and having to get nasty. But you know what? I love it. And, I can't wait to do it.
At times, especially during rookie years, there's those pinch me moments, the guys you're actually working with, you may have spent your entire life watching on TV. Is there anybody on the Cowboys roster when you found out that that's where you'll sign that you're like, oh man, I'm going to be playing with, this guy? Who's that guy?
Well, it was Jason Witten. That was the first thing, just being able to, at first being able to try and, learn from him throughout this whole entire process. But, he's retired now, and, I'm sure I'll be able to develop a relationship with him, hopefully. But, I feel like, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, all those guys, it's really incredible that I get to learn from them and see how they handle themselves as pros. And then, be able to learn and adapt and, really trying to figure out my own kind of role there. So, I'm really excited for the opportunity.
I want you to wrap your head around this, David. Like, the Cowboys play on Monday night one time this year. Let's say you make the team. Witten's in the booth talking about you. What would you want him to say?
Hopefully he'll say that I'm a very tough guy and that, I deserve to wear the Dallas Star. So that's really it.
Dallas, they have training camp practices in Oxnard, California. This is one of those things where fans of yours, people at San Diego State, get an opportunity to see you in Southern California if they want to make the trip. Is there any feeling of connection to this organization outside of just, how everybody kind of in the United States understands what Dallas Cowboys means because they branded themselves so well? But is there any further special connection since they've spent some time in Southern California?
Well, not really. I don't think anything, with Southern California would have to, develop me being able to sign there. That's awesome that they go to Oxnard and, my girlfriend and my parents, will be able to come out and, watch some of the practices and stuff like that. But, I definitely just think it's just, just how their franchise is. It's probably the best franchise in America. That's why they're called America's team. You know what? I'm just excited to go. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah, David Wells with the Aztecs last year, now with the Cowboys. David, real quick, were you watching in the first round when Penny went?
Yeah, I was actually. I was at home. I was really excited.
Yeah, how'd that go? Like, what was the reaction?
Oh, you know what? I wasn't too surprised, but a lot of people I was with were. They were like, wow, he actually did. But, playing with him for, the past 3-4 years, I definitely knew he had first-round talent. And I've been telling people throughout this whole entire process that, he should be drafted in the first round because, he's a good guy. He's going to do everything right. And you know what? He's a hard worker. And there's a reason that he ran for 2,200 yards. It's not just because of our O-line, but it's also because of him. And you know what? He deserves every little bit of it, and I'm very happy for him.
Well, David, we're happy for you. Congrats again. We can't wait to see how this all plays out with you and Cam with the Cowboys. So best of luck.
All right. I really appreciate that.
All right. David Wells, the tight end with the Aztecs last year.